And we are back with Brothaspeak Podcast. We will discuss Black LGBT issues and topics. And we are doing part 2 of the Les Come Clean conversation with Maya G, where we discuss the differences between gay men and gay women. But as you see in the conversation, we go a little bit deeper and find a little bit more discoveries of what we feel and what things we express. Hey, what do you say? This is Brothaspeak Podcast. And we'll go into the conversation right about now.
But go ahead. I'm listening. What's your reason?
Okay, all right. When it came down to first off, the bisexuality, gay men also, again, they don't want to compete. They use they use this particular idea of, they're disease carriers, but the reality is that's not the case. It's the matter of fact, there's no particular survey or statistic that has shown that bisexual people carry more diseases than gay men or women. There's nothing I've seen at all. But we have seen, though, those who are more within the community who stick with their own. And by the way, it's less black people in the world than white people. So statistically, just because we're small in numbers, our numbers being the fact that we want to still hang around each other and have sex and interact in that way, our numbers are going to automatically be higher than the majority anyway. Mm-hmm. So really, it's really kind of a numbers thing. If we really break it down, the numbers. Now, you may get the same thing for white men, but their numbers, even though the numbers show that the numbers are going up slightly more, especially for the older categories, those in the retirement homes, etc., and also, for black young teens, the early stages coming up a lot more. But that's because there's no gay papa or gay mama no more. They gone. Seriously. There's none of them really can say, come on, baby, let me just show you this is how you got to look at it. And stroking them and carrying them and telling them exactly what it is and what's not. The do's and your don'ts within this community, because you need that. Right. A lot of them are on their own. But as far as bisexual, they're not bisexual. They are gay. They are actually loving another male or loving another male or someone of the same homogeneity. They're saying the same person. Not bisexual. No. It's not bisexual. So we have given them a bad name. And quite frankly, a lot of us cannot figure anything out. Just like you can't figure out transgender. A lot of us cannot figure it out.
When I ask my bisexual friend, I have a few bisexual friends. But most of the bisexual female friends that I do have are in lesbian relationships. And I always tell people, if a woman is able to tell a man that she's bisexual, chances are she's probably more gay than bi. Because women that really care for both sex, the true bisexuals, they just identify themselves as straight. They don't even tell you. If they just enjoy having sex or sleeping with women, they're not gonna divulge that. Because there's no future in that. So there's no point for me to have to be stoned for that.
But I think that's also the same thing for gay men, because they created the MSN title, men who have sex with men.
Right.
And that's because, quite frankly, they don't consider themselves
so many titles and tags and labels.
They had to create that shit again. They want to create a box. So that's because of the fact that they created that box, because they don't feel that they're gay. They just said, I do my thing, but I'm not gay.
Right. And that I can respect that part. Because that's more being sexual than being, I guess, bisexual, right? It's all of a sex thing, And most women are not going to be okay with a man that have sex with other men.
Of course they're not.
Most women are not.
Of course they're not.
But they're not going to sit down and have that. And there's a lot of women that are with men that do have sex with other men. They probably don't know, or they won't admit to it.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
right. But they're not going to be okay with that. Where, I know guys that have engaged their wives into threesomes and lost their wives.
True.
Because, some women don't even know what they're into before they find out what they're into. Oh. And then you go open up a Pandora box. That's another situation.
Yeah,
Sex is a very tricky thing. Some people do have sex as a business, and some people, it's the gateway to their heart, to their emotion. Gotta be, sex. Sex is a different thing for different people. Some women, they can have sex with you, and it's like, one female said to me, if you sleep with me, you're not just gonna stop talking to me, are you?
I've gotten that before. I've got that before with gay men. Yeah.
Like, is this all it is to do? Well, because they're attaching their emotions to the sex, to the activity.
But you know what? That's we all, don't get me wrong. We've all made that mistake. We kind of confuse lust with love. We've done that shit.
Once you tell me that, and I know I'm not really interested, I'm not fucking with you. Because I've had a stalker before, so we're not gonna get into that. But I'm just saying, like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to. If somebody makes it that clear to you that it's such a big deal for them to have sex, and you're not trying to keep them like that, you probably don't.
It's probably better to just keep.
It's better for your peace of mind.
You are dead right on that. So, Lord Jesus, I don't think I can. I mean, so basically, right now, you know what I mean? Because we've kind of tackled a lot of subjects.
We jumped around all over the place, man. Wow.
I hope these people are able to follow us. You know?
I hope they're able to keep up. We jumped all over the place. I think, in a nutshell, like, we're talking about the whole bisexual stud thing, and my point on that with somebody was, how come it's okay for studs to accept a femme girl who's bisexual? But a femme girl would totally have a problem if her stud is bisexual. And this other girl said, well, there's no such thing.
What?
Studs can be bisexual.
What?
And she said that if a stud is bisexual, she's just a tomboy.
Say that one more fucking time. Okay, so if a stud, who is, gender-wise, is a woman.
Right.
If they decide to go outside of their homogeneous ways of being with other people and decide to go with another guy, they call that a tomboy. Because now you're getting digged down by dudes, so you can't be considered a stud. So no. So are they accepted back into the community?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Whoa.
Some females will tell you that. Some femmes will tell you, bisexual femme now will tell you they will not date a stud that have kids.
What the fuck? Why?
Because you've been with men before.
I've never, because I'll be honest with you, I've seen a lot of lesbians who actually do mess with people who have kids because they take it on as like almost like the motherly role, fatherly role type thing. Right. And so I actually thought the female community actually has no issues with the kids than the gay males.
Nah, well, I mean, I think one thing people would say around me, they're like, oh, it's great, Maya doesn't have any kids, and there's more to that part, but the point that I'm trying to make is that's what they look at. Some femmes would rather deal with the studs or a butch or whatever that has no kids. And I thought that was kind of being, a hypocrite.
Yeah.
So then I said to one girl, I said, well, if you had a kid or 3 kids by a guy, that means you used to deal with men at one point.
Yeah.
So you had to be considered bisexual at one point.
At some point, yeah.
Oh, no, I was never bisexual. Unless you went and got artificial insemination, you were bisexual if you were having sex with men and you have 3 kids to show for it.
Yeah.
I don't care whether you like the title or not, but that's what it is.
Yeah, I believe that,
So, it's a very sensitive topic. I got cussed out. One person's like, well, she must be a bisexual stud herself. That's why she's asking the question.
What?
And I'm like, you guys are so ignorant. Like, that is so ignorant. Like, I can't ask a question just to get a better understanding on where people stand.
Well, maybe because you called them out. And maybe because a lot of people
don't like to be called out.
People don't like to be called out at all. I mean, because being called out, first off, let's look at it for itself. Called out is basically admitting a truth to yourself that you're not ready for. Right. And somebody else decides to put you on those questions that kind of emotionally backs you up.
Right.
And like I said, a lot of people cannot find themselves, or it takes a minute to find themselves.
Well, I don't know what age does it happen for men or in the gay world. How do you guys, come full circle with your sexuality? But I know for women, it starts happening somewhere around 25. We'll fool around and mess around with women like in our 20s, maybe teens, some of us.
Yeah.
But the whole life cycle making decision for women, most women, is at 25. It's 25, 24, we start making decisions. Now, sometimes your family may be patient with you, right? They'll be like, oh, she's just going through a stage, give her a few more years. And then you may have to revisit that again, like when she hit 30. 30, 31, you have to kind of revisit it to kind of figure where you're at. So from that 6-7 year period of time, a lot of people are walking around with that bisexual title.
No, gay men do it too.
Right. But by the time they start heading towards 40 now,
yeah,
it's no longer whether you're, to me anyway, it's no longer whether you're a bisexual or straight. It's more about which gender you emotionally connect with. Because you've already had the sex factor.
Yeah.
You already figured it out. You like to do this. Because some femme girls, they just want a stud that can strap them down pretty good. That's all they care about. And if she can do that, that takes the factor of penetration.
Oh, wow.
You know? Because that's what some people see men as.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So if that part is being handled, then they're not worried about that.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So those are uncomfortable things that people don't want to talk about.
Yeah,
but it's the truth. It is the truth.
No, I'm not going to tell you that gay men also don't have their hang-ups in terms of, one, you know, the role in itself. But also because when it came down to, I guess when it comes down to having what role they're going to take, it really goes about generations. I think what generation you really come from. Baby boomer, you're a millennial, are you one of the Generation X?
What generation are we?
Well, I think we're Generation X.
Okay,
Generation X is.
What's that? What year is that?
76 all the way to 2001.
Okay, well that's us.
Because that particular generation, notice that the millennials accept themselves a little bit. They come out the age of 5. I'm gay.
Right.
You ain't find yourself yet. How the fuck you gay? But they're coming out way earlier. Now you got the generation before us.
I just use the term to late.
Listen, but let me guess. Around 20s, early 30s.
Yeah,
exactly. Now you get the older one. They probably still struggling with that shit, it goes by generation. So what I've observed, depending on what age you are, to where you finally got to accept the word gay, because to him, to the person, individual, depending on where you came from, what age, is a bit of a burden, and it comes across a bit of a burden. Then the younger one's like, it's more about freedom. I am free now, So it goes according to what generation you are. For men,
to be free is so much work.
It takes, in this world, in this society, hell yes.
Be black, woman, and gay. Or lesbian.
You got 3 strikes against you. Just like a male has 3 strikes against them.
True.
You are black and you are a gay.
A gay.
Well, fuck. Well, why you all that now? This, it's like how much more pressure you want? Yes. And
it's true.
And so
true.
I mean, so it's enough just being black. Just put it out there.
It really is.
So and so now, but don't get me wrong. There are privileges in everything. There are privileges in being a woman. There are privileges in actually being a male. There are privileges in being a black male. I love being a woman.
I just wish I was a woman with a penis. That would be like perfect world.
Don't you have that option already?
Well, yeah. But if I tell you the jokes that lesbian women, like some women, they'll be like, don't they have the penis that squirts? I'm sure they do. I think I've seen one in Europe. You want me to get that one?
Oh my god!
What flavor you want me to put in there?
I'm pretty sure that'll be a bestseller. I guarantee that'll be a bestseller.
No, they have it though. They do.
Oh wow!
They do. And I'm like, but the thing is, I'm so open.
Yeah.
I can have those conversations without getting no hang-ups, because some sensitive people would be like, "Oh, if you want to fuck with a dude, you should just fuck with a dude." No, I should just let what she likes, and that's okay.
I mean, sexual freedom is something that also when we cross that line in terms of what it is that our partners want, that could be difficult That's difficult.
I want you to tell me.
Listen, some people can't be dealing with that all the time.
You want to be choked? You want your hair pulled? What you need?
Some people can't really deal with that, because keep in mind, especially the older you get, you've been in committed relationships, open relationships become an issue. Now I've interviewed several people who actually already find that open relationships is almost like open Pandora's box.
It is.
They still are committed to one another. They still love each other, but they want to creep outside. And so some relationships can handle it, and some relationships cannot. So first off, I've heard, and I don't want to use. Why do I keep using lesbians? Because it slipped out the tongue.
Right.
Okay, so let's just say gay women.
Okay.
When it comes to open relationships, do gay women believe in open relationships?
Hell no. You know, women is all about emotions. They can't deal with that. They can't even deal with you having a friend. They can't deal with you being too tight with another female. No, they can't deal with that part.
So basically, right now, when it comes to so really, creeping is the only option if you want to go outside of the relationship.
Yeah, creeping and get killed.
What?
Creeping and get killed. You know,
my God!
And you know, and I find that a lot of gay men seem to last longer in relationships than women do.
And we thought it was the opposite. Are you serious?
No, because you know, with women, like they can't. You know, most women can't even go through that part where it's kind of like a plateau.
Yeah.
It's neither up or down.
Yeah, it's just like this. Coasting.
Yeah, and some women can't handle that.
Why?
I don't know. Like, they want that intensity all the time, but it's like if you're working out a muscle and you're picking up heavy weights all the time. After a while, there's no.
It is a plateau.
It's, muscle atrophy. It's nothing gonna happen. It's just gonna be there
unless you change it up a little.
You gotta change it up. You gotta change it up.
Yeah.
So that's what everything that I can tell people. Relationship to me is like the wave. It goes in and it goes out. It goes in and it goes out. Like people always say to me, "Well, Maya, how come you're so forgiving?" Like I'm forgiving because there's no use of me holding grudges or taking it to the next relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like okay, you dog me, did me dirty. Okay, I still love you, but I know how to love you now.
Exactly.
It's different.
Exactly.
So with women. If you're in a relationship with a woman and you got too caught up with work or you're hustling too hard and you're not paying her attention like you used to, it's a matter of moments for somebody else to creep up in there.
But see, the only way that somebody can actually creep up in there is if you open that door.
You don't open that door sometimes with social media now, where they can be in the DM and the inbox. Come on now.
But again, it's up to that person. If you open that door,
you
respond back.
Absolutely.
You say, yeah.
Like I tell people I'm stupid loyal. I'm stupid loyal to a point that, because you got to think about it, having fans is an easy thing. People wanting to get with you is an easy thing. Mm-hmm. But you also got to look to your side and say, what is this person worth to me? Because you could hook up with somebody who's cuter, somebody that probably have more money, but what about their values, their morals? You know what I'm saying? All that comes into the play.
But this also looking for those who are looking for that long-term relationship.
That's what I'm saying.
If
you're in a relationship, most of these women over 35, they are looking for long-term.
Hell, most of the men looking for long-term too, but they just can't seem to get over the serial idea, the serial mentality. Yeah, they want it. They know they want it, but in the meantime,
the thing with me is like my friend, she says to me all the time, she's like, "Oh my, you need to go out and have fun." I mean, that's the thing, like, and not for nothing. If you can give a woman a good conversation, you got her.
Okay.
I'm a conversationalist.
Because you stimulated her mind.
Right, and I'm a conversationalist.
The art of the tongue.
Exactly.
I get it.
So if she's like, "Well, I'm stimulated by you," yeah, so was the 10 before you.
Ooh, ouch. Yeah,
so was the 10 before you. So for me, it's just a conversation. For you, is I think I found my one.
Yeah. Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's very important. When you're in a relationship, stepping out is one thing. I did the stepping out thing before.
Yeah.
It brought me a lot of hell.
Yeah, when you got caught, I'm sure.
When I got caught, it was a really bad thing.
I bet it was.
But you know what?
But also, let me ask you this. At that time, did you say, "I am committed"?
At that time, I was too ruthless to care.
Oh, that's a very honest statement. That's very honest statement.
I really didn't care. Like, I just felt like, oh, you like me? Well, so does she, so does her, so does that girl. And then as soon as I get to it, I'm going to fuck all of them. That was my mentality at the time. I really didn't care.
Okay. All right.
So, but you get older, you become wiser. The amount of karma, Chris, that I had to pay for some of this stuff, it carried a long time.
You know what? I do appreciate the fact that because it does take a minute to be honest with yourself, and also to be honest with yourself is the first person you better get come clean with anyway, and then actually be able to express that. And so when it comes to just gay in general and how you view your gay community, what's the first word that comes to your head?
Unstable.
I understand. You know, then again, let me say this. How I just view the African American mentality, or just the black mentality.
We're too guarded.
Too guarded. Okay. Yeah. Can you think we showed? Because it's about weakness. It is about weakness. Presenting.
Right, but I think that I think that we just don't show our vulnerability. We don't show how vulnerable we can get. We're very judgmental on each other. We don't empower each other as much as we should. You know, we're not very supportive. Even in a relationship, you know, I've been with different race, right? I've been with white, I've been with Spanish, I've been with blacks.
Yeah.
And I felt like I really had a team player by my side when I dated outside of my race.
Wow.
Okay? Because when I did was with, you know, another black person, it was always like, oh, you think you're all that. You think you're this. You think you're that. Where when I was dating outside of my race, I was like, you got this, babe. You got this.
Wow.
Go get it. I'm going to be right here. I'm going to be right here next to you. I'm not saying that all black women are that way. I'm just saying that the ones that I've dealt with in a relationships. Now, as friends, I have a lot of supportive black females as friends. But as lovers, I don't know, maybe it's on me. Maybe I didn't pick the right ones. Who knows? Or maybe because for a long time I would go with the sense like I'll let her pick me.
Yeah, what do you mean you let her pick you?
I let her pick me, and I got this from a guy friend of mine years ago. He said to me, when a woman picks her mate, he's gonna have a good life, because when women pick a guy or a femme picks a stud, she's gonna make herself, you know, available to you 100%. All you gotta do is just be committed and be loyal, be faithful, and be a provider. Be there.
Gotcha.
You know, and that's the same thing in the straight world. But if a guy has to chase a woman down,
oh hell no,
it doesn't work.
It's not gonna work for anybody. If I gotta chase you down, I already know exactly what to expect. But also that comes with experience,
right?
And the young people don't quite get it.
But the thing is, some women still want to be pursued.
And guess what? That may be to a fault. I hope your ass still together with somebody. Because the art of pursuing, there's a limitation to it. There's a limitation to everything. So it's okay to be pursued as long as you are receptive in some form or fashion. Absolutely. To show that, yes, I want you to continue to chase me, or to understand that I'm feeling you.
Right.
But if you don't get that feeling,
I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. Everything has limitations. Mm-hmm. Everything has, and that's even with guys. Some guys like that. Some guys feel that because, and by the way, let's get on that bill topic. We talked about this before. Some guys feel that because you are the man of the relationship, you must flip the bill on every single thing comes about.
Did we talk about this story already?
Yeah,
yes, we did.
Put it on the air. Put it on the air.
Put it all out.
So I have come across that because you are considered to be the man in this relationship, ain't you got to take care of the things?
Aren't you trying to court me?
I was like, whoa, okay, and I'm thinking to myself, that's the dumbest mentality I've come across in my life. But believe it or not, and then have the nerve to invite you out and still want you to flip that bill.
Man, you're going through it. You're going right through it.
It's like, no, once I go through that once, I ain't going through that shit again.
You know, it's so funny, you know, because we had this conversation off the air. I got, you know, somebody, you know, this female invited me out for brunch or whatever. And so I figured the rule goes, if I invite you out, I got you.
Yeah.
If you invite me out, you got me.
Exactly.
Even if I was in a full-fledged relationship, if my people said, hey, baby, we're going to go out, you know, I don't know, for some reason, it would always be, she's planning it, she got the money, she's going to cover it. I may say, because we're in a relationship, nah, baby, don't worry about it, I got it.
Yeah.
But in her mind, her money's in her pocket, ready to pay the bill.
Yeah.
All right, so I get invited to this brunch. I get there, we eat, kiki, we're laughing, having a good time. The bill comes. She's looking at the bill. So I scoot over the bill real carefully to my right and give it to her. I say, you got this, right? I'm going to have to pay for this? I'm like, wait a minute now. You invited me out.
Wow.
And, you know, she did a whole scene. Take me home. And like, just doing the most. And And at that moment, I said to myself, I'm like, I can't do that part.
Yeah.
You know, and she called and apologized days after that. We hung out a few more times after that, but it's like the vibe. She changed the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like she
you good, boy.
Yeah.
I think it was like, wait, hold on now. Now you mean to tell me that after all this, you're telling me that you would still actually go out? Because if I would still go out and get with this person, once I learn that one lesson and I see where your mentality stands, when I see right now mentally where you're standing, I know exactly what I'm going to deal with from here on out.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, I went out with them 2 more times, just for kicks and giggles or whatever. But funny thing about me is this: it's like I could be all into you, but it could take like just one thing for you to completely switch my mind, and I'm just like, I'm done. And I was done. I hung out with them a few more times, but it was like, nah, I'm done. I'm not interested.
No, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a whole nother. Well, let me ask you this also, because when it comes down to drugs, at least within the black male community, I mean, I've come across, and don't get me wrong, Latino too. I've seen Tina. I've seen marijuana. I've seen coke.
That's Tina.
Okay, let me tell you, Tina is ice, like something like that. It's something that it was really introduced by the white gay community and introduced into the minority community. But Tina, when people say, "Do you party?" Did you guys ever get terms like that ever? Okay, so usually the T. And it took me years to kind of get it. No, I don't. I do party. Sometimes I go, out. No. You really know that you are out. Is the black, for at least the male community, drugs are very rampant. Not to say I come across it all the time. Not to say people who just use it for recreational purposes, but there are some people who are addicted. How is it within the gay women when it comes to drugs?
Well, what I will say is, when I was dating black women, because I date black women on and off, Spanish, whatever. Yeah. I never really saw it really dealing with black women.
Yeah.
But except like with one person, but with white people, it was more popular.
Really? Okay.
Coke is popular.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Molly is popular.
Okay.
Stuff like that. I think that I kind of got more exposed to certain things outside of my race.
Really?
Yeah, but that's only because I think that they're more free-spirited than we are.
Okay.
As gay women.
Okay.
I think that it has to do with that. Because if I was to say to a black female, hey, let's go do a Molly, it depends on who she is. She might be like, oh, you do that shit? If I say, let's go smoke some weed, she might be a little bit more flexible on that. I mean, I don't do none of it either way, but I'm just saying, like, the conversation will be different.
Of course,
what I'm saying? Like, the level of openness is different. So I think that we're just very... strict. I always tell people, like, I love women, so I love all race. Yeah. So to me, it really doesn't make a difference. But if I'm planning longevity, I'm gonna look at how flexible in terms of how we're gonna be able to mesh without being in a box.
Right. Okay.
So that's pretty much it. So if I say, let's get a hookah, or if I say we go to Colorado and let's have a smoke, and you're making a big deal about that, I don't know if that would be the, I don't do drugs, but I'm just saying, like, I don't do coke or none of that stuff. So I just would want somebody who's like, if I said, well, let's smoke some weed, they'll be okay with that.
It's like, so there is truly a difference between gay women and gay men, to where it's definitely prevalent.
That's a big difference.
And so I'm glad I asked that question, because I thought it was just actually the entire gay community, but actually I didn't really think gay women that's a whole another category. Yes, we're in the same lump, but it's not. So really, the mentality of the need to escape
Right, but you have to remember that men are more.
Is it more pressure?
They're pleasure seekers. Men
Really?
are more pleasure seekers than women are.
Huh.
And because women are mental creatures, right?
Yes.
Men are into physical pleasure.
Gotcha.
Okay, it's the ecstasy that comes with using ecstasy.
Yeah.
Is not the same for a woman who you can take her to ecstasy by just having a good conversation with her. It's a whole different thing. Okay. It's a whole different thing. So, they don't explore a lot with drugs like that because they just want to be mentally stimulated.
Interesting.
If a woman is hopping from left to right with people, it's because she's not yet mentally stimulated.
Wow.
And it's the reality of it.
But isn't that a challenge in itself to constantly stimulate somebody?
Well, some of us have the gift. Some of us have a gift. No, for real.
Okay.
Some people have the gift. They can stimulate with. Okay, when you look at a guy like Jay-Z.
Okay.
Jay-Z is a gifted man. Like when he talks, you're just going like, I like the way you think.
Yeah.
Like he has the gift.
Yeah.
That is a gift. For us to be able to sit here and have a conversation, it's a gift. You can't bring just anybody here to have this conversation.
That's true.
Okay, they're not mentally inclined to be even able to look at it from a spiritual aspect to a human aspect, dealing with drugs, sexual, man, woman. Not everybody can do it.
Right.
So if you can have a conversation with a guy who likes to be able to converse with people and you're able to keep them engaged with you, it's a gift.
But everybody don't have that gift.
Exactly. A lot of people don't have that gift.
But that's a struggle for, maybe a struggle to even maintain a relationship for people.
And that's why when they meet us, even if we're no longer together, they will always remember us.
Interesting. Because
you were that ecstasy. I didn't need to use drugs with you. Just a conversation with you was making me high.
Wow.
It's the truth. And how do you get here? You're born this way. You're born this way. This is talent. You can't. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta respect it though. No, you better know about it. Sit down with different people.
You gotta learn that shit though. If you're not gifted in that perspective, you gotta learn it because how else you can survive?
You cannot learn to be have the gift of the tongue. It's not something you can learn. You can have the talent and educate yourself so you can have stuff to talk about. But you can't be. You just can't do that.
Because I'm thinking to myself, well,
like Oprah has that gift.
Oprah does have that gift.
That's my point. She developed the gift, but she has it. She was born with it.
See, the reason why I'm saying
Barbara Walters has the gift.
Barbara Walters doesn't have it.
That's my point. They develop it. See, they were born that way.
It's kind of interesting because, but I guess basically bottom line is when you said those who have a natural talent for it, it can be molded and then just continue to be naturally. Yeah. Those who never really did,
talent and skills is different.
They can get certain things
right
to kind of get them by.
Right.
Okay.
Like Michael Jordan didn't really have the talent.
Yeah, he had to practice.
Right, he had to practice. He had to develop that skills because he wanted it.
Yeah.
Then you have other people who have talent, but they don't practice. Then they'll never go nowhere.
True.
Some of us, you just have that talent to do something, and they don't use it for nothing. Okay. So you got to think about it. Like when somebody meets you, if their ecstasy is to be able to connect with somebody on a mental, they're sapiosexual.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And they meet you, and because they're sapiosexual, they're more turned on by you on the mental level. And you're like, just, oh my God. If they stop fucking with you and get with somebody else, they're going to know the difference.
Man, I guess, I
that's why some people don't stay away from their exes.
They don't stay away from their exes.
They can't stay away.
Wow. Because that's the only one that they remember.
That's
only really stimulated their minds.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Shit.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. Because, one woman told me, she said, even though we're not together, she said, even though we're not together, you will always outdo whoever you get with.
You will always outdo whoever you get with.
So basically, in that statement, she's stating that you outdid me. That's why I'm not here.
What was she competing for? What was she competing for?
You shouldn't be. When you're with your partner, you should not be competing. But sometimes women get intimidated. Men probably do too. Get intimidated by their partner, and they sabotage a relationship.
They do. I can see that. I can see that.
And then they go through the rest of their lives saying that when I was with Chris, I was so happy. So why did you end Chris?
That's true.
Why didn't you just stay with Chris?
That's true.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, this is really kind of like I'm thinking myself. I did a lot of things that so really there really are differences.
Yeah.
In terms of men and women
Absolutely.
within the gay community, in terms of that.
What's important?
I guess my part was more on the exterior too. I noticed like right now you have dreads. So and don't get me wrong.
I got dreads before they were popular.
Well, see now. What made you? Did you think there was a masculine quality, just like almost like a cap? People come with the cap, baggy clothes. It's considered to be exuding a masculinity. Did you get the dreads because of that?
I'm gonna blow your mind, right? Okay. So when I was 9 years old, I saw. I don't know what it was. Was I 9? I probably was younger. I don't know. I was younger.
Yeah.
And my mom said, when you get to the 8th grade, I'm assuming like in the 2nd or 3rd grade. That's what, 6, 7?
Okay.
She said, when you get to the 8th grade, if you still feel the same way about getting curls in your hair, we'll do the whole curls thing, right? Because curls was popular then. This was like Coming to America days. and that was like one of my favorite movies, right? Without giving away my age.
Number
right?
Juices and Berries. Go ahead.
So when I got to the 8th grade, we were still doing the perm thing, and it burns and all this other stuff, and I told my mom, I don't really like putting the perm in my hair, so she started doing the braids. So I had braids for a while.
Gotcha.
And it was it was very easy because I played basketball, so it was like very easy to deal with. And then when I hit like 18, 19, then I started coming to terms with me observing women, because I always got turned on by girls. Like, girls always made me nervous, made me sweat, and I couldn't behave around them. But with boys, I could play with boys. There was no problem. Yeah. My aunt used to say all the time, she's gonna end up pregnant. She loves to play with boys too much. Which was the contrary. I was only playing with boys because I got along and I was comfortable with boys, but girls made me nervous. But they didn't know about that part.
Gotcha.
So anyway, to go back to the hair. So by the time I hit 20, I said that by the time I was gonna be in my late 30s, that I would be a vegetarian. Like, I had already called it. I'm like, I'm gonna be vegetarian. I'm gonna clean my diet, because my grandma, she passed away like at 92. And she was a vegetarian by the time she was like in her like mid 30s or something like that.
Oh, wow,
so
okay.
She was vegetarian the rest of her life.
Wow.
Anyway, so I got my dreads when it was not popular. When having dreads meant it would be harder for you to get hired.
Oh.
So I completely shaved the perm off.
Okay.
So I had like a little twisties everywhere. So at that point I'm like 20, 21, something like that. And a lot of things happened at 21. I think I stopped wearing skirt at that age. Because I was getting so much attention from men, and I'm not. I was not into guys, and I was like, I got to start changing my looks.
Yeah.
So changing my clothes was one of the things. Like, I've also always been a tomboy, but the extreme change happened. I went from shopping and the athletic side of women clothing to shopping and men's side of clothing, and at that time it was so uncomfortable to be in that side without people looking at you like, why are you on this side buying clothes? And even around that time I thought about, man, maybe I should start my own clothing line for studs and shit like that. Right. So anyway, long story short, I get my dreads, and then dreads started becoming cool. Then Lil Wayne got dreads, everybody going crazy. Oh, he got tattoos, because I don't have no tattoos.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting my first tattoo next month.
What?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna get a tattoo.
Oh, God.
And because it's part of my whole transformation thing. So anyway, I get the dreads, and now I'm like, oh my God, your dreads are so long, and it's a turn on. Women love locks. They love locks. They do. I see people putting fake locks in because they don't want to wait through the process. I've seen that
too. Oh my God.
And I'm like, just go through the ugly process. Just go. I've had my locks like since 2005, so somewhere like 12 years.
Yeah.
And I've cut them a few times. Just go through the ugly process. But yeah. I got them because of a spiritual thing. It had nothing to do with women. It just so happened that women love locks. It was more spiritual thing.
It was more about stuff.
I didn't care about putting perm in my hair because I feel like the dye and all that stuff is affecting you
internally.
It does. I didn't want to mess with that. With all these different cancers and stuff out there, I didn't want to, be messing with that. So, that was my personal choice.
Yes.
I've never colored my hair, even though I wanted to, but my stylist, knowing that she knows how I stand in terms of health, she's like, I color for you, but blah, blah, blah. I don't think you should.
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, that's the story behind getting the locks.
Spiritual.
Yeah.
So what type of spiritual was it? Just more about just being healthy? Was it more about your God, or what spirituality was this?
It's more of being natural. Okay. Being natural to me, it's just what we're created to be. Like, we're created to take care of our health. We're created to take care, to work with what we have. Nothing wrong with getting dolled up and doing all that and, fixing your hair. And, femme girls, doing their weave and, whatever. Some girls, they'll plait their whole head and put a weave on because they don't want to damage their hair with chemicals. I get that. And I respect that. But, there's women that dye their own hair. That's the only thing. I get that. But, all that chemical does go into your blood. It does affect you.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not to judge anybody, but that's something we need to be aware of.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And as you get older, all those things are gonna create problems.
I agree with that. No, I really do. Actually, I think last thing I read when
you said fuck it, cut all your hair off.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I was growing a little ring around the rosy all the time, so I had to do something about that. And if it wasn't my ex at the time that just sat me down, just buzzed me, so I was like, but everyone was like, what, you're black, you can get away with it. It looks better, so I was like, so I just kept that. But it's kind of funny you mentioned the natural route, because sometimes for a long time I thought natural meant that you were either pro-black or lesbian. Think about it. Let's go back in the day now. Let's go back, because the natural route, women with the afro short hair or cut their hair off was automatically exhibited to be.
It was.
That natural.
But I never even thought about it when I did it.
Okay.
I just did it because the thing is with me, Chris, I just do what I want.
Okay.
I don't ask nobody permission for nothing.
So now you would say at this particular age, at this time, that you have the freedom that you've been looking for.
Absolutely. Okay. Like people say, they wear baggy clothes or whatever. I'm over 35. So for me to wear baggy clothes just to make a statement, it just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't.
You know what I mean? I wear clothes that fits. The clothes that fits. I don't wear stuff below my butt.
Yeah.
But when you get to 35...
It's a different threshold.
And even if you're dating a woman who's 29, 30, she's only dating a 35 plus year old woman because she's seeking that maturity. She doesn't want to deal with that little kid that's hanging pants down their butt. I'm not saying that they're wrong or they're right. I'm just saying that there's a point of your life that you get to that you need to look respectful, so you can be respected. So if I go to a high-end spot for hotel or a restaurant or something like that, I'm not looking like a clown.
True.
Okay. Yeah, I'm lesbian. I'm a butch. I'm a stud. Whatever you want to categorize me, but at the same time, I look good doing it.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that comes to a point where you have to be comfortable and love yourself enough.
Gotcha.
To look good doing it.
Okay.
Okay. That's from what you're eating. Who you praying to, you better believe in something.
That's true. I do believe in that.
Once you taking care of yourself on that level there, then you can enter a relationship with someone, and even if they're not too sure about certain things, y'all can grow together.
So wait a minute.
And to me, that's what the alpha female is all about.
So wait a minute. So religion in itself, because I still think personally, I have my issues on religion, but I'm not going to.
Well, I don't practice any religions, if that's where we're going.
Well, that's the thing. Think about this: do we practice religion and not spirituality?
Because I think that's the biggest problem, and I have this conversation a lot with people because I teach people a lot about that stuff, and they say to me, "Well, Maya, you should be an evangelist." I'm like, I couldn't be an evangelist because that's not my calling.
Right.
My calling is not to do that. Mm-hmm. I can educate based on what I know, based on my own personal experience, but you still got to go seek out your own truth.
Of course, absolutely, right? You should.
With religion, like anything else, like black lesbians with black gay men, none of it gets along.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It really
so to me, it doesn't make sense to really. I don't think you should belong to any particular religion. But again, to rewind back to what we're talking about, not everybody has the gift to understand much of anything. So by having religion there, it puts them in a position where they better believe in something.
So in other words, if you really have not taken time to seek,
it's almost like you have no brain, right? You have no brain.
Yeah.
Right?
Ooh.
If no fear
Yeah.
is installed into you,
Yeah.
you will just go rampant and do whatever.
Okay, so in other words,
by having
basically,
religion there,
Uh-huh.
I can't say it's a bad thing. Religion is great for those who are not willing to sort out the truth. If you don't want to go find out what the truth is, by all means, be part of the religion category. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
And I respect all the evangelists because they're doing a good job in keeping the world safe. Because people need to have something to believe in. It's a lot of work to really have that relationship with God. It really is a lot of work.
It takes a minute,
you know, because if you step away from religion, you step away from the church, and you try to figure it out on your own, it's a lot of work.
It's just a lot of work.
You know,
it is a lot of work.
And the whole when I say that I truly believe, you know, let go, let God, like that is a statement that I truly believe. It's hard.
It is.
But I really do trust God, and He never failed me. I always get what I asked for. I saw myself being where I'm at now in my life years ago.
Yeah.
And I really believe. I tell people, like evangelists, I tell them, I believe in God more than you, and you wouldn't even know that. They're like, why? I said, because I believe that God is bigger than the Bible.
It is.
It's way bigger than that.
Yeah.
You know? But I respect you, though. I respect you, the fact that you're seeking it out your own way. And I think that's why I got into meditation, which I don't understand why the church doesn't meditate.
It talks about meditation in the Bible.
Right. It's absurd. They're like, oh, you're supposed to pray. I said, well, if you're doing all the talking, when are you listening?
And by the way, prayer and meditation, a lot of people put meditation in different categories. It really is the same thing if you really think about it.
It's not. Because when you're when you're meditating, you have to quiet down your mind. And you have to basically open yourself up to where it's completely blank.
Okay, absolutely.
Okay?
You're absolutely
and prayer, you're having a conversation with God. You could be going through your list of gratitude, where you're telling God what you're grateful for.
But aren't you doing that with meditation as well?
No.
In a sense of meditation, because sometimes because this before is meditation, and then sometimes with meditation, even though you are clear, you are more given that. You're also concentrating on yourself, but
because you're receiving in meditation with prayer, you're giving. It's just not the same. They should be together.
Isn't it more of a concentration though?
This is how it should work. Okay? And if you talk to all the gurus and the yogis, they'll tell you this. You're supposed to, express your gratitude first, which is prayer.
Gotcha.
And then meditate.
Really?
And that's why you're supposed to pray at night, meditate in the morning.
No, I've never heard of that one.
Because if you think about it, if you pray at night, when you meditate in the morning, whatever you had a conversation with God about, whatever, you're seeking answer, because, there's a prayer that says, God, just show me. And usually when you say, God, show me, some crazy shit about to go down. Because for real shit gonna go down, and you gotta be ready. It's always like that. Because the stronger you feel like you need to ask that, the crazier things about to get. Now, if you're going into the day, what exactly are you praying about? You prayed at night. In the morning, you're asking God to prepare you for the day and to be able to receive everything that come through and not lose your cool, right? And then you go into meditation. And then whatever message you get through meditation, whatever, that's how you carry it through your day. At the end of the day, you're praying, thank God for keeping me safe.
Right.
I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for my family, blah, blah, blah. Amen. May I rest in peace through the night, wake up in the morning, whatever. Prayer, done. Go to sleep.
No. The more you discuss that, because I get both of them and how they're actually connected. But yes, you are right in terms of, because I think sometimes prayer is used incorrectly.
Yeah, it sure is.
And it's very incorrect. We're telling, give me something. But the reality is, it should already exist.
Right.
If it already exists, all you should be saying is basically thank you.
There you
but
go.
You know what?
We're now on the same page.
So, but with religion, and we have been growing up in the Judeo-Christian society as a gay community. Same religion that bashes us. That's why a lot of people also go to non-denominational.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of funny because as a community, we always say that we're very religious.
Right.
We believe in God. We believe in it. But how much?
But you got to remember when we got introduced to God.
Through slavery.
Right. So why would we even trust that? You got to understand that the white people know the power of the subconscious mind, and they have kept that a secret all these years. That's why The Secret did so well, because it is basically subconscious mind being entrapped Okay,
Yes.
The Arabs seem to know about the subconscious mind, and the Asians seem to know about the subconscious. Yes. Black people are the last ones finding out that you are what you think.
It's psychological warfare they use on us. So
you are what you think, and you are what you eat. We're the last one coming in finding that out. Why don't I watch the news? I don't watch the news because the commercials in between are talking about diabetes, cancer, colon cancer. It's talking about nothing but negative stuff.
It is.
What is it doing? It's programming your subconscious mind.
It really is.
Messing you up.
Yes.
And you don't even know you're getting messed up. You know what I'm saying? So they know the power behind the subconscious mind. So they introduce religion in this very caged way. It's like telling you about God, but telling you about God with limitation, where God has no limitation.
It was manipulated too. Yeah, we use it as a tool for our own self-gratification.
Absolutely. And I think that once you're able to accept that you are definitely created in the image of God, and God makes no mistake, then you can have that self-acceptance of who you are. And then once you can know who you are, then you're able to, convey that in a respectful way to the rest of your society and family and all that. But if you're being chaotic, you're sleeping with everybody, you know what I'm saying, you're drinking, you're getting high, you're doing all that stuff because, you feel like the world doesn't accept you, you're going down that road by yourself.
True.
You need to have that conversation with God and ask for that healing. And then you can go ahead and become a whole person. But as long as you think that it's you against God or you against religion or you against the church, you heading towards the disaster. And that's the part that I had to make peace with that stuff.
In order to come across self-discovery.
Of course. Because once you get there, then you're not doubtful. And when you're not doubtful, you're powerful.
Wow. I like that. That was very
because when you have doubts, you can't be powerful. You can't.
And do you think that that's also our downfall as a community, or
absolutely we doubt ourselves? We do. Black people doubt ourselves. We doubt each other. If people just knew how powerful they are, if they only knew how powerful they are, this place called planet Earth would be a magical place to live. We don't believe that we're powerful, and that's the biggest thing.
Wow.
You know
what, Maya? For 2 hours, we have talked about everything under the. It's kind of funny because Edward, he was all. And by the way, Edward is also the spiritual guidance, I guess you could say. Come on, Edward, talk a little bit. You're already at the corner. And, he was actually saying that, our energy, the way we are, we would actually have a very long conversation. Yes. And actually, it ended up in that category. 2-hour conversation. But you know what? I've appreciated
it. I think that your audience is going to enjoy.
Come a little closer to the mic.
I think the audience is going to enjoy you guys' intimate conversations. So you need to, look at this and maybe look at this as a series of intimate conversations between two interesting.
That could be. I don't know.
I'm open. I'm open for the discussion. He had a few wild moments.
Well, I had a few wild moments. Heartfelt discussions can sometimes be wild moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because your heart is wide open and you're getting revelation about things that you don't normally see.
Absolutely.
So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So you guys can create a lot of that with your talks. So I'm looking forward to hearing the whole thing.
Oh, thank you very much, Edward. We have a podcast with him coming soon too, so we'll get that. Now, Maya, being the fact entrepreneur that you are, I want you to tell me about your event that's coming up also for next year that you have coming out. It's first of its kind from the last time we discussed with me.
Yeah, so the event I have coming up is T-shirt Palooza, and what T-shirt Palooza is about is all about T-shirt for T-shirt lovers. Like I'm sitting across from you here, you have your flag on your shirt. What does this shirt mean to you?
Honestly, I look at the flag. What I'm wearing right now is actually a dark gray shirt, but it has the American flag with no colors. It's all black.
Okay,
and I like the fact that it really kind of paints exactly what America is right now. Actually, in a very dark state in many cases.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's still something that people still hold with pride, even despite the good and the bad. With color through is black, whatever. Yeah. So I like this particular shirt. Plus, it feels comfortable.
Definitely, and that's what the Palooza is all about. The Palooza is about self-expression, art through T-shirts.
Gotcha.
So all the vendors that are gonna be there are gonna be selling their shirts with their own expression of art.
Gotcha.
So you'll have some text, you'll have some graphics, you'll have some image tees. We're bringing 2 celebrity DJs. DJ Epps is one of our DJs. DJ Thunder's another DJ. We're talking to bringing some more acts. We have a fashion show that's gonna be showcased also. So I'm still putting everything together.
Gotcha.
So yeah, T-shirt Palooza is gonna be 414 at the Art Serve and Sunrise. If anybody has any question, they can call me.
Yes.
754-200-1978. If you're interested in being a vendor, you can contact me, or if you just want to know what the event is going to be all about. We're still looking for sponsors at this time. It's a project that I've been thinking about since I was 14.
Oh, wow.
When I took my first Photoshop class back in high school.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just make T-shirts, and my dad's so crazy. He was like, so I'm spending all this money to send you to school, and you want to just go make T-shirts? And I did the whole road of working with the government, doing all that stuff, because that's what my parents wanted me to do, until I decided that I didn't want to do that and get into T-shirts. And I really have a special passion for T-shirts. I just love it.
Okay.
I love it. I think it's a form of expression. I think it's kind of odd that this event is going to be one of its kind.
Yeah.
Because it's solely focused on T-shirt. So it's going to be pretty cool, and I'm honored to be able to bring that to Fort Lauderdale.
I like that. And not only that, but it sounds like an event that's never been done before. It's very creative, and guess what? It's also a celebration of art.
Absolutely. Remember, you're supposed to create, not compete.
Exactly.
So, and that's basically what I'm looking at. To do something different, and then with time you'll get better, and we'll do bigger things.
Yeah.
But that's the pitch right now. Art Serve, if you've ever been to that venue, it's all about art.
It is.
And I thought that it would be a very appropriate place to actually have that expo. So
awesome,
yeah, definitely,
awesome.
Absolutely.
You know what? How can people get a hold of you, Maya G? Tell me your Instagram. Tell me your Twitter. Whatever your social media.
Okay, so the social media for the event is T-shirt Palooza. T-shirt Palooza Life. That's all together. Okay. T-shirt Palooza Life. If you want to reach me personally, it's MG Hustle on Instagram, MG Hustle on Instagram, and on Facebook is Maya GEE.
Okay.
All right. So you guys can reach me at all those 3 spots there, and I also give you the phone number.
Okay. All right, Maya G. Let me tell you, like I said, I really appreciate the conversation. Like I said, I tell people all the time, I've wanted to have this conversation for a while, but it's true. I mean, a lot of conversations that we really just don't talk about, and I just want to actually see the differences. And everyone knows by this time when it comes to my show, you kind of get a little bit more information than you walked away before.
Absolutely.
We're not just talking about, shaking your ass and Twitter or whatever. We don't do that. So we really talk about something that you really stimulate your mind. So I do appreciate you coming over and let's just talk about it. And again, we may just do this again.
I know. You never know. The final words that I want to leave everyone with is that just know that you are enough. Okay. And if you ever feel like you're not enough, just know that you're enough. And if you're still feeling that way, then you need to go figure out what is stopping you from believing that, because you are enough.
Maya G, the yogi. Thank you so much, Maya, for coming to the show. This is Brothaspeak Podcast. And again, the signing off, you guys also know to also hit us on Instagram, Brothaspeak Pod. That's brother, not brother, Brothaspeak POD. You can also reach us on the website, brothaspeakpod.net as well. So thank you so much for joining us. You have a wonderful day. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed part 2 of the Let's Come Clean conversation with Maya G. We definitely went around the world a little bit. Hope you stuck with us during the entire time. This year is now 2018, and we're going to be bringing in some brand new episodes for you guys. I know a lot of listeners have been slowly growing with us, and I really do appreciate you guys. I also want to make sure that we kind of change the format a little bit, change the music a little bit, do whatever we need to do to continue to get better at what we do in this year, 2018. Thank you for all my listeners for the wonderful year, and let's make 2018 even better. Love you all, and see you next time on Brothaspeak Podcast.